What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another Sorare video. If you enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe and leave a comment, and let's jump over to Sorare. Right, so we're on Sorare data now and we're having a look at the teams. As you can see in amateur, we only scored 315 points this week. I actually tried to do quite well in amateur, made a couple of changes and stuff. Of course, if you haven't already, make sure you go join my private league. Whoever wins the private league when it finishes in, I think there's 3 game weeks left, 2 game weeks, is going to win themselves a limited Brian Acosta. So I was trying to do well to try and be competitive in that, but we've got off to a pretty bad start. After a few of players I didn't expect to do well did a bit better. Rodriguez, I actually brought him in for this game week because Kai Wagner was in a bit of a doubt of starting, and obviously our starting goalkeeper Blake is away on international duty as well, so we didn't have the defensive stack anyway, so I swapped him out for this game week. But McIntosh actually got a clean sheet, which is quite rare. They don't get many clean sheets. A little bit of AA, he doesn't normally make too many saves, so yeah, 1 save and a smother. Managed to bag himself a 70. So I really didn't expect that from him, especially against the Whitecaps, who do manage to score quite a few goals, so I was really happy with that. Rodriguez at home against LA. It's not a terrible fixture because LA haven't been great this season. But they conceded 2, so for him to still get 47, it's not actually the worst score. He made a foul, got himself a double-double. As you can see there, 2 tackles and positive 3 on the duels. So if he could have got himself a few more interceptions, then we've been looking at a pretty tasty score. Callis Hill didn't manage to bag himself a decisive again, but he's pretty consistent even when he doesn't. For an attacking player, he manages to get a lot of attacking AA. His other ones are pretty poor. He did get himself a yellow card as well, which actually means he's going to miss next game week. So if anyone didn't know that, make sure you take Callis Hill out of your teams, because unless the yellow card gets rescinded, because it definitely wasn't a yellow card in my opinion, then he's going to miss next game week. Mukhtar got himself an assist. He's been getting so many decisive this season. I think he could actually be top scorer in the league. So that's why I actually captained him this week. So really happy with his score. And Carlos Vela once again didn't start. He got 25 minutes this week. So he actually got himself a decent amount of attacking AA there to say he didn't start the game and only got 25 minutes. So pretty poor all round. We had 3 scores that just weren't anywhere near good enough. But still looking forward to next week, see how you guys do in the amateur league. Moving down to Cat 240, we got let down here by Jader O'Brien, completely missing. I've heard that he broke some sort of club disciplinary, so he was missing a game for that. But he's expected to be back for the next match, so if anyone's got him, don't worry too much about that. As things stand now, he's expected to be back for the midweek. I think they've got a midweek. Brad Guzan managed to keep himself a clean sheet. I was really happy, thinking this is good, but Gutman didn't start. He came on for 5 minutes at the end. Yeah, 4 minutes, and actually got himself an interception and a dual one pretty quickly. So if he'd have started that game and Jader O'Brien had started, would have probably hit the cap this week. So I was really happy that Brad Guzan managed to get the clean sheet, and then I remembered Gutman didn't start and it was basically pointless. And also Houston lost 1-0 to Seattle. I didn't really expect them to do too well. I brought them in for the next 3 fixtures coming up, I think, because yeah, they've got a couple of home fixtures and they're a really good home side. Franco Escobar is a really good player and he's going to come up again in another video coming out Friday, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. So I'm not too worried about these 2. I think they're going to tick along quite nicely. Let's see what he did here. Yeah, so 4 duels won, he got himself an interception and really good passing. AA built up there, managed to get himself a tackle. So yeah, I think the Houston mini stack and the Atlanta mini stack are gonna come good for us soon. Even if I'd have started Fabian Herbers, we still wouldn't have got the cap because he gave away a penalty and only scored 30 in the end, I'm pretty sure. He would have actually got 50 if he didn't give away the penalty, which would have been really good for him, but it is what it is. We didn't hit the cap this week, but we do need to start hitting it a bit more. So hopefully we can manage to get it next week. We'll jump over to lineup builder and start building some lineups for next weekend quickly. So we'll start building the lineup then. Obviously Brad Guzan's going to be in the net. See, this fixture is not as bad as it looks in my opinion. Montreal are really good at home and they're on an unbelievable home streak, but I don't think they're going to score 3. And Atlanta hopefully can bag a couple themselves, and hopefully Goodman's going to start and get himself involved. But as long as they don't concede free, I don't expect a clean sheet very often from these guys. So as long as they get as long as they don't concede free, I'll be pretty happy with them. Arta, here we go. This is like the start of their good run of home fixtures, in my opinion. He's predicted to get a 53, like typically against him like that. Jada O'Brien, 100% is one prediction. In my opinion, he's going to start, so I'm going to ignore that for now. If anything changes close to the date, then I'll take him out. And the last pick is going to be Franco Escobar. I think this is pretty low for what he can do. I think he's going to score pretty well. I think hopefully the star players this week for us will be Franco Escobar and Arta. I'm expecting a clean sheet and just a pretty good game all around from these guys. I'm expecting Arta to drop a 50, and I think Franco Escobar can push on for a 60 or 70 this week. So hopefully he does that. And if these guys don't concede free, Jada O'Brien gets the start. I think we can really look at hitting the cap, which is obviously the goal. I will jump over to MLS Amateur as well. I've actually already put a team in, so I'll just quickly talk over it. Blake's not expected to start apparently. Maybe that's because of the international duty. I'll just take him out and put McIntosh in there. Mukhtar starting. I brought back Kai Wagner. He's expected to start again. Carlos Vela is being predicted to bench. I think this might just be someone who's gone through and put in all of last week's results in. I'm not sure if the Gold Cup's still going on, but I'm going to throw Blake in there. It's one prediction, yeah. If anything changes, like I said, I'm recording this a little bit early, so I will make changes where needed. But the only players that would change in this team are probably Blake or Jada O'Brien, depending on what's going on. I'd imagine Carlos Vela will start, like getting rested. He's normally recently he's been like on the bench, off the bench, on the bench, off the bench. But I think he's going to start this weekend, hopefully. So that'll be my MLS Amateur team, which will be competing up against you guys in the private league. Mukhtar as captain. We've still got Carlos Hill in the club, so we can bring him back when he's going to be unsuspended. He might actually be unsuspended for this if they have a midweek fixture, so I'll have to... no, a lot of people have got him out, so I'm guessing he's going to be suspended. I'll check into it. I don't think they have a midweek based on them predictions, so we'll miss him this weekend, but then he'll be back for the week after, and we'll have a pretty solid team back again. I'm going to jump over to Sorare quickly, and then I can update you guys on what I've done with the gallery, and then we'll finish this video off. Well, as you can see there, we basically spent all the ETH that we had, and we managed to sell Noni Madueke, which is, I think, is something that I mentioned I was going to do over the weekend in last video. So we managed to sell him off. We've actually got a nice little collection of coins building up there. But yeah, we brought in a few players. I think last time out, the only player we'd actually brought in for Europe was Lapusin, and maybe Kramer and Sanchez. But I managed to pick up myself a Derry Merkin. I think he's a really good player. I'm pretty sure we've already spoke about him before from the watch list. And I did bring in Jordi Masip, another player we spoke about from the watch list, and I just wanted to get him in the club because goalkeepers' prizes are starting to rise now, so I just wanted to get him in nice and early. And I brought in a Dario Melniak from Hajduk Split because obviously we've got a bit of a stack going, and I had these two defenders. Obviously Josip Elez didn't really play last season because of an injury, so we don't actually quite know what's going on with him yet. I think he's going to start this season. A lot of people do also, but there's no confirmation yet. And Chidozie Awazim, they couldn't manage to strike a deal with I think it was Boavista, so his loan's finished and he's returning there. The club is still trying to make a deal to re-sign him, but as things stand, he's returning to his old club. So it left us in a position where we've gone from having possibly the starting centre-back partnership to maybe no defenders. So I brought in Melniak, who's, I think he's the right back, I want to say. No, I think he's the left back. He's getting on. He's a little bit older than the other players, but he's a pretty consistent scorer. They're a pretty good defensive team, and he actually manages to get a few decisives. So I brought him in for a pretty fair price, actually. I think he's still about the same now. Some really good XP on him as well, because he's going to lose his season bonus soon. So we'll have to start building all these back up, but we've got them at pretty decent amounts already. So even when we do lose the season bonus, it won't affect us too much. But yeah, it's a bit of a short video today, guys, as obviously we had no rewards this week. I have mentioned that it's going to be a little bit slow like this until the European season starts. So it's just going to be lineup builders, results, and quick gallery updates, show you guys who we signed. But there's not going to be much going on until I think the first Hadric Split game is in it's 3 weekends away now. So we're getting pretty close, and the gallery is starting to look pretty good. We've gone from being at a point of where we could only just afford to have 10 limiteds in our club and play Cap 240 and semi-pro to where we've got an 18 card gallery of pretty consistent players who I'm really excited to take into next season. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.